Okay, so what if I told you there's this kind of hidden path to unlocking all of your spiritual potential? That's exactly what we're diving into today. The journey that takes a person from being a spiritual child to becoming a true master. It's a path a lot of people are called to, but as we're going to see, not everyone actually finishes it. Let's find out why.
So let's just start with the big question right up front. Are you a spiritual child or are you a spiritual heir? And look, this isn't just a tiny difference in words. The source material we're looking at makes it crystal clear. The gap between these two is as huge as the one between a servant and the actual master of a house.
And this slide really nails the whole journey, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the spiritual child. They're always receiving, always kind of dependent, and their whole world is about their own needs. But then on the other side, you have the heir. They're powerful, they have authority, and they become a source of blessing for everyone around them. It's a total 180-degree transformation.
This piece of wisdom from Galatians is really the key to everything. Just think about it. You could be the rightful owner of this incredible inheritance, but as long as you're in that state of spiritual childhood, you're basically sitting on the sidelines. You're just waiting for that date set by the Father to finally step into your own power.
So how does this actually play out in a person's life? Well, that brings us to what we're calling a tale of two heirs. See, they both have the exact same potential, the same amazing inheritance is promised to them, but their day-to-day realities are literally worlds apart.
First up, let's look at the spiritual child's world. They live on a diet of what the source calls milk. The basics of faith. Their whole focus is on their own needs, on getting their next personal blessing. It's a safe place, for sure, but it's a place completely without real authority.
So what happens when a believer gets stuck in that stage for, years and years? The source uses a pretty striking term for it, a spiritual dwarf. Just picture it. Someone who's been in the faith for a long, long time, but they're still only consuming that spiritual milk, never moving on to the solid food of deeper wisdom. They just miss out on becoming the heir they were meant to be.
So how do you make sure that doesn't happen to you? How do you avoid becoming a spiritual dwarf? Well, the great news is you are absolutely not meant to make this journey alone. You're given two essential guides to help you grow up. Let's meet them.
Here they are, the caregiver and the steward. And according to the source we're looking at, these aren't just, optional mentors or helpful suggestions. No, they are divinely appointed authorities, and they are absolutely crucial for your growth from a child into an heir.
This chart really breaks down how they work as a team. The caregiver, who is often your pastor, is there to build your foundation, your character, your holiness. But then you have the steward, the teacher of mysteries. They're the one who gives you the blueprints, the divine strategy. Think of it this way. One guide makes you strong, and the other one makes you wise. You absolutely need both to win.
And here's where things get really intense. The source says that the enemy's #1 target is the steward. And you have to ask, why? Well, because a church full of spiritual children just seeking blessings isn't really a threat. But a church that's armed with the divine wisdom and strategy from a steward? Wow, that's an army. And you better believe the opposition will do anything to stop that from happening.
So, if this wisdom from the steward is such a game changer, how do you actually get access to it? It all comes down to your spiritual diet. It's time to graduate from milk to mysteries.
The path to maturity is actually laid out pretty clearly. Yeah, you start with the basics, the milk, but the real transformation, the engine room for growth, happens in the prayer room. The source even recommends at least 2 hours a day. Now, that's not about being legalistic. It's about creating the intentional space for God to start revealing His secrets, His mysteries, directly to you.
So what exactly are these mysteries? Well, think of them as the advanced training, the special forces curriculum for the spiritual life. They aren't just interesting facts for your head, they're strategies for the battlefield. They're what turn you from a spiritual civilian into a full-fledged soldier.
And you can really see this change in the way we pray. A child's prayer is almost always, God, please fix this for me, take this problem away. But an heir's prayer, that becomes, God, give me the strength to overcome this problem. The whole focus shifts from just getting help to becoming the solution.
This huge shift in prayer is just one of the major signs of maturity. So, what does it actually look like to fully arrive, to become that spiritual heir? Let's take a look at the destination of this incredible journey.
A true heir is just a force for good in the world. They're no longer just consumers of blessings. They become distributors of blessings. They face storms with courage, and they learn how to command spiritual authority. They are, in a word, prayer warriors. So, what is a prayer warrior?
It's someone who feels the weight of the world on their shoulders, and instead of collapsing under it, they turn that weight into prayer. They learn how to take their own pain, their own struggles, and transform it all into fuel to fight for other people. It's this beautiful, powerful transformation.
I mean, this whole journey is obviously life-changing right here, right now, but what if it had eternal consequences too? The source poses this really profound question. Does our spiritual growth on earth actually impact our status in heaven?
And the answer it gives is a resounding yes. This isn't just some nice, feel-good idea. Our source calls it a hidden principle that reveals something absolutely extraordinary about the very structure of the kingdom of heaven itself.
And there it is, the ultimate game changer. The more a person knows about God, the higher their position will be in the kingdom of heaven. Just let that sink in for a minute. What you learn here matters there.
So what that really means is that every single moment you spend pursuing God's wisdom, every time you press in to learn more, it's a direct investment in your eternal future. This isn't just about solving today's problems, it's about determining your eternal rank. You are literally building your heavenly portfolio right here, right now. So as we wrap this up, here's the one question to carry with you. Are you living your life to get a blessing, or are you living to become one? Because according to our source, the answer to that question will determine not just your life here on earth, but your entire destiny in eternity.